My Lords, I have a number of concerns about this bill. I always worry about using the school curriculum for political ends, and we are increasingly seeing the challenge of educating children being subordinated to the imperatives of social engineering and political expediencies. As a former teacher and somebody who works with many educators through my role at the Academy of Ideas, I was glad to hear Lord Knight and many other voices here recognising how frustrating it is when unresolved social and political issues of the day, and the answer is always sort them out in schools, the curriculum can be used to change attitudes and behaviour. Because it does turn the curriculum into a battleground for different messages and causes. But still, this bill is about the environment, but it could just as easily be about decolonisation or gender identity or Islamophobia. Think of any number of fashionable causes. And there's always a sense of urgency that teachers sort it out. And I think that no matter what way you look at it, it distracts from the crucial role of handing over the wondrous wealth of knowledge from the millennia to new generations, and it becomes further squeezed. It's not as though there's not more to pass on. If there is more time in the curriculum, I'd say to make good citizens, we would want more time to introduce them to the studies of the wonders of more literature, more novels, more history, all the cultural capital that they will need to equip them to approach political issues as independent thinkers. Which brings me to the thorny issue of impartiality. This bill, as the Noble Lord Knight has made clear in his motivation, promotes a particular view of the relationship between humans and the environment. For example, it urges that pupils must learn to protect and restore. That is a particular eco-outlook that may well clash with other priorities, building, industrialisation, development. But it also narrowly defines what makes a good citizen. And surely that these matters should be open to query and contestation. 2 decades ago, I set up Debating Matters, a sixth-form debating competition that prioritises substance over style. And while I'm not now involved, the competition thrives. And of course, its aim is to show teenagers that there's always two sides to every issue, that they must read around and research all sides of the argument and learn to think for themselves. And I worry that this bill is just one side of the argument. No doubt the effects of climate change present serious challenges to society, and I'm all for urging pupils to study subjects that could help manage and mitigate those problems. We need more engineers, marine biologists, flood technologists and so on. But the skills advocated here seem to be about creating green activists and agents of behaviour change. In the library briefing, Lord Knight is quoted as calling pupils, quote, significant influences on their parents and grandparents. Isn't it cynical for politicians to use children to avoid persuading adult citizens of the merits or demerits of net zero policies? Because this sounds anti-democratic to me. And indeed, Lord Knight goes on to say, quote, many children are leaving school not connecting knowledge with action they can take. This must change if schools are to reflect the future we want. I mean, I want to ask, who is the we there? Is there a state-endorsed future that I don't know about? I'm not sure I'd agree with Lord Knight's. And what is the action the Noble Lord wants pupils to take? Extinction Rebellion, an army of Greta Thunbergs? I think all of those issues should be debated in schools, by the way. I just don't think they should be enshrined in legislation as self-evident, simplistic truths, nobled here by almost everyone as no-brainers.